There was enough necessity, though, because I knew you wanted them. There was enough necessity. Necessity can override uncertainty if you use it correctly.
It sucks because now we have to constantly be like, oh, damn. So, what is it that you're avoiding? Most likely underneath that is uncertainty.
Next Level Nation, welcome back to another episode of Next Level University, where we teach you how to level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode. Episode number, hey, keep quiet over there. Episode number 1410, 3 words that put everything into perspective. I'm not usually good at talking about what we do in positive terms, just because I don't know, I have a weird thing around that. But if you didn't listen to that episode, I think you should, because I think it's one of the best, if not the best episodes we've ever done. So make sure you check that one out. It's heavy, but I do think it's one of the most valuable ones ever. Today, for episode number 1411, what are you avoiding right now? We did a speech at Next Level Live, an event that we put together. And on stage, we were talking about people ghosting you and you feeling bad when you get rejected and that type of stuff. And I said, has anybody in here ever been given $1,000 and been ghosted? And people laughed at me. They laughed. They were supposed to. It was kind of a joke. And then I said, but really, has anybody ever been given a large sum of money and then the person just disappears forever? And I said, there's people out there right now who I have thousands of their dollars. In the business, we have thousands of their dollars. I probably already spent the money. I might have spent it on something. And they won't answer my DMs. They won't answer my WhatsApp messages. They won't answer my emails. I don't know what the hell's going on. They're avoiding me. I have no idea. What am I mean? Am I bad? I don't think so. I think I'm a nice person. And we went on to talk about how people have different trauma responses to certain things, and when you're often the mirror for somebody else, and it's just, there's a lot of reasons people are avoiding you. So today's episode is about what are you avoiding right now, and why are you avoiding it? I had a day last week where I had just gotten 2 new clients, and they paid, and in the onboarding email, when you become a podcast client of ours, it has everything you need. It's got your Google Drive link, WhatsApp link, invoice, that they already paid for that. It's got the calendar to schedule our first call. It's got everything we need. And they hadn't scheduled calls yet. And they both were very, very eager to get started. They said, I want to get started next week. I want us to get on the phone next week. And I was like, awesome. I should have time on Tuesday. Here's my calendar. Let's do it. So 1 week passed and I didn't hear anything from them. Fairly normal. That happens all the time. People are always hot out of the gate and then they tend to cool down. Next week goes by and I start to get this ping of I should reach out to them. I got to reach out to them and make sure they know that I'm waiting for them. And I didn't. I waited a couple days. I got busy. The ping kind of went away. And I was getting ready for bed one night. And I was like, why am I not doing this? Like, why am I avoiding this? I got the ping and I kind of pushed the ping down. Why am I avoiding this? And what I came up with 2 different thoughts. One, I know it's going to lead to more work. And right now I'm already somewhat overwhelmed. So if I send the email, it's going to kick off a chain of events that is going to take a lot of my time, most likely. That's part 1. That's what I signed up for. So get over it, Kev. The part 2 of it was, I don't want them to be upset that I waited so long. There's this weird thing where when somebody sends you a text message and you don't get back to it, the longer it goes, it gets harder because it's like, I have more shame. Ooh, I have more shame now. And I know this person's probably saying, Kev, come on. It's been a month. Or then it gets to the point where it's like, maybe the person just forgot. And if I text them back, it's going to rehash the fact that I didn't respond for 3 months and I'm going to look like a real asshole. Okay, maybe that's part of it too. So I was going through it and then eventually I emailed them later that week. They both emailed me back, booked calls. Cool, we're off to the races. But after having that happen multiple times, I've gotten to that point now where I always ask myself, why am I avoiding this? Why am I avoiding this? Yes, it's going to lead to more work. That's what we want. That's the goal. That's how you grow a business. Okay. Are they going to be upset? No, they're the ones who didn't book on my calendar. I was very clear with instructions. They probably just got busy. And it's my job as the coach to make sure we get this rolling. But I've had that conversation with myself many, many times. And I try to have that conversation often, not just with stuff like this, but anytime I'm avoiding something. Why am I avoiding it? Why am I avoiding that conversation? Why am I avoiding looking at this? Why am I avoiding sending this piece of mail out, sending this email, whatever it is? When you understand the why under it, at least you can come at it from a more positive place next time, a more constructive place. So my question to you, if you're out there right now, what are you avoiding right now and why?
The first answer you're going to give yourself is probably the top layer. We did an episode recently. You remember the title of that?
Absolutely not, no.
It's the first answer you get when you ask a tough question is usually the surface, and you got to go a couple layers deep to find the real answer.
I think that was episode number 1400. The most powerful question you can ask yourself is why. I think that was episode 1400.
Okay. You said that with a lot of certainty, so I trust you.
When I've learned this, I learned this pretty quickly in life. When somebody asks you a question, if you just hammer an answer, they'll believe you almost every time. So if you said like, what was the most expensive movie ever made? I would just throw something out there. Marvel.
Avatar 2.
Marvel, Avengers Endgame. I just throw it out there. So I couldn't do it with you. But
I think it's Avatar 2. I honestly don't.
Now I can't believe you.
That's
Because
which is why humility is.
But if you just said Avatar 2, certainly, I'd be like, he knows.
Well, that's the problem, Kev. That's why arrogant people end up influencing more people.
I'm in a very jokey mood because we've just been hammering episodes. It's been a good day. We've been hammering episodes. These lights, I feel like I am a chicken tender at your local 7-Eleven. I've just been under the lights, just rolling on that roller all day.
I do want you to know, Kev, I don't like the lights.
I don't like them either.
They make me
loopy.
It's too much.
Yep.
I like to turn them off in between.
I'm a sicko. I just sit right through it.
I try.
I like to get them done. I like to hammer these episodes out. So speaking,
you think we should add some value?
Let's get back into it.
Let's get back into it. We had a good run.
That was
today.
fun. I enjoyed that.
It was good.
I enjoy having conversation, just a brief conversation amongst friends in the middle of an episode. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We're avoiding this episode because it's uncomfortable. Okay, so the top layer. So if you haven't listened to episode 1400, go. It's a doozy. It's about why, which is the most powerful question you can ask yourself. Next most powerful question is how. Why and how. Critical. Anyways, okay, the top layer is usually the answer you're going to get. So why am I avoiding opening my mail over there? I don't have the time. Okay, that's the top layer. It's not true. Okay, I'm overwhelmed with everything else, and I don't want more uncertainty. Okay, why? Because there's probably something in there that I'm going to have to deal with that I don't want to deal with. So, if we want to grow, we have to get outside our comfort zone. That is common knowledge. It is not common practice, but it is common knowledge. The next question becomes, what is outside your comfort zone? And what is outside your comfort zone is definitely different than what's outside my comfort zone. And this is where the whole thing that I say often, if what you want was what you needed, you'd already have it. So some people are really good at facing discomfort in a certain area. I know some people that are really good at having uncomfortable conversations with their intimate partner. I know some people, those same people who are maybe good at having uncomfortable conversations with their intimate partner, but they're very uncomfortable at the gym and they don't want to go. I know some people that'll go to the gym all day, look in the mirror, take pictures in the mirror, post them on social media, but they can't have an uncomfortable conversation with their partner. And I know some people who are good at both of those. But I can tell you this, there's not a single human I've ever met that isn't avoiding something, including me. Every single one of us is avoiding something. And I think if you want to go to the next level, you have to first go to a deeper level. I told Kevin before this episode, I said, after my uncle's memorial service, I had this really visceral moment of, I just don't want to avoid any uncomfortable truths anymore. And I did. I overswung the pendulum towards facing a lot of stuff. And I told Emilia this earlier. I told you this earlier, Kev. I'm outside my comfort zone in too many areas. I'm in my anxiety zone, not in any one area. There's no one area where I'm like, wow, that's what's doing it. Because she asked me, she says, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? And I said, I'm outside my comfort zone in too many areas, particularly when it comes to the heart. And so because I made a decision to not avoid any uncomfortable truths, I have been facing a lot of uncomfortable truths in a row. In business, in fitness, in podcasting, in my communication, in my coaching, in my consulting, in NLU team, the way I am as a leader, who I am as a man, my past for sure, therapy, all these things. And so for me, I actually need to get back into my comfort zone a little bit, for sure. But for those of you out there who feel like you might be living a little bit more in your comfort zone, what is the thing you're avoiding? And what's interesting, I never actually put this together until this moment. When I get back in my comfort zone a little bit with some of these other things, then I'll be able to face these other little uncomfortable things. I'm outside of my... If you're already uncertain and overwhelmed, what are the chances you're going to go face more uncertainty and more overwhelm? You're not going to go seek more challenge when you're already outside your challenge skill sweet spot. So for me, I need to get back into I need to level set some things. Like I need to, we used to call it level up and then ratchet in, level up and then ratchet in, level up and then ratchet in. I need to do some ratcheting in here. I need to get back to essentialism, get back to some basics. And then when I feel like I'm in my comfort zone again, I'll be strategic in picking, okay, what's the next thing I want to face? What's the next uncomfortable thing I want to face? And so I think that's a question I would ask our listeners is, what's the next uncomfortable thing, person, place, thing, or idea that you want to face?
And the thing that I want to throw in there is it doesn't necessarily have to be internally uncomfortable either. It could be something that is just, when I bought the new car, I had to go get it inspected, and I waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. And then when I was like, okay, I should really do this, I went to book an appointment because you need an appointment at the dealership I bought it. And they were pushed out like 2 months. I was like, okay, I can't do that. The reason I didn't want to do it is because I knew how much of a pain in the butt it was going to be. And then I ended up finding a place close to me, and it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't as big of a pain in the butt as I thought, honestly. If I had to go the other route, it probably would have been, but that's why I was avoiding it. Well, they don't open until 9. My first call is at 10. I'm going to have to push a call to go get my car inspected. If I'm not the first appointment, if they take too long, I'm going to have to move the next call. It's going to be a whole pain in the butt. So that's another question I would ask is, am I catastrophizing what this could be? The only way to get more feedback, or I don't even say more feedback, more information is to risk more feedback. And now I know, okay, I'll just go to that place next time. It's not that big of a deal. They open at 7:30. I'll be there at 7:30 in line. Nobody else wants to get an inspection at 7:30. I do. I'm done in the gym. The gym's right down the street. I'll be there with bells on. And I can work in the waiting room. That's what I did last time. Perfect. Perfect. Anytime I've been avoiding something, it's usually fear or overwhelm. Fear or anxiety. Fear of, okay, what is this person saying?
Well, all of it's uncertainty. It's either it's all uncertainty. That's what fear is.
Or couldn't it be certainty of misalignment? Definitely. There's been podcasts that I've rescheduled and rescheduled and rescheduled. And eventually it gets to the point where I'm like, this isn't aligned. I'm not going to do it. Cancel it.
But the question becomes, why didn't you just do that right out of the gate? And it's because
I might not have known how unaligned it was. Misaligned.
Right. So you didn't have enough certainty that
true.
It wasn't aligned.
Checkmate.
But I would say it's still a game of certainty. You're either certain it's not aligned, so you're actively avoiding it on purpose, which I would say is good. Or there's too much uncertainty and you don't want to face it yet. Maybe you're not ready to face it yet. This is why I always say increase your awareness, increase your capabilities. You're going to, like, let's say Kevin was like, Alan, you have to find a way to make $5,000 next month. If you had told me that when I was 17 years old, that would have put me in my anxiety zone. I'd have been like, how? I can't do that. I make $7.25 an hour. Don't ask me to do that. I would have gotten defensive. But for me now, it would be, okay, I can make it happen. Let's do it. I've become more capable. I've become more conscious. I'm more aware. I'm not as freaked out. But if you ask me to fix your car, dude, I don't have any capabilities or any consciousness. So there's too much uncertainty. I'm going to avoid that all day. Yeah, I'll be there at 7. You'll never see me. You know, like I'm not going to do it. I avoid, we all do. We avoid things we're uncertain about. Emilia has said that. Like, I got to stop saying like. I want to stop saying like, and you know.
We need a jar. We need more jars.
The like, and you know jars?
And interesting jars. I haven't said interesting much lately. I've heard it a couple times this week, but way less than usual.
Kevin said to me I have a nose whistle, which I apologize if that's the case.
Hello, my name is Eddie Pinero. I'm the founder of Your World Within, and I wanted to take a second and just express how valuable working with Alan has been. His ability to help me create clarity and maintain focus on my big picture goals has been huge. You know, he's been a huge asset with the roadmap as well. The day-to-day things, the little things that we sometimes overlook. I think anyone looking to, grow themselves, grow a business or both, would truly benefit from having Alan as an ally along the way. Again, great mind, but more importantly, solid dude.
Got to breathe while I'm talking. You know what it is? I'm focused on not saying filler words, and I don't breathe in between talking.
I understand. This is the beautiful thing about this podcast is you fail forward with us if you listen. We're very honest about the fact that sometimes we always want to get better, but sometimes we are frustrated with our inability to improve something faster than we would like.
100%. Yep. I was avoiding this for a while. Emilia says like in between her stuff, which is making me say it more because I'm with her. She's who I have most of my conversations with, and I brought it up. I said, sweetheart, just a little bit of feedback from one communicator to another. You say like a ton. And now I'm noticing that I'm doing it. So you called me out. I'm now calling her out. And we're all going to get better now. But it sucks. It sucks because now we have to constantly be like, oh, damn. So what is it that you're avoiding? Most likely underneath that is uncertainty. And I'll give you a perfect example. I didn't want to mention it to Emilia because I'm uncertain of how she's going to react. I'm uncertain if she's going to be upset with me. I'm uncertain of what's coming next in that conversation. And I'm uncertain of what feedback she's going to give me.
Yeah, that's always a challenge.
Yeah. Don't dish it unless you can
feedback
take
from
it.
me? Hold on, let me see what I have in my notebook for you. I've been keeping tabs for a minute. Okay,
pull out a little list, and it like unravels. So, but what I was going to say is projects. There's certain projects we have to hang one of her TVs. So, the TV you gave us from the studio? Or
I gave that to you?
You gave us a 52-inch, didn't you?
No, I don't think I gave it to you.
What, do we jack it? I steal
it? No, you just took it home after the event. I mean, I have no use for it, so yeah, sure. You haven't.
Oh, that's right. Okay, took it home after Next Level Live because we had that in the front. Yep. So, anyways, she's gonna be hanging that in her studio. I'm not as good at projects. I mean, I can work my way around a drill, make it work, stud finder, all that. But I'm not as certain in that arena as I am in business and stuff. So, I naturally am drawn towards working on our business, and I'm naturally not as drawn towards projects that are house projects. Makes sense. So wherever you feel incapable, wherever you feel insecure, wherever you feel like you have low awareness, you're going to naturally avoid it. So what you have to do is override that and just say, screw it, let's do it. I do that regularly. I haven't talked to you about this at all, Kev, but whenever I'm feeling the discomfort and uncertainty of something, I sometimes will just say, I actually say F it in my own head. Like, F it, let's do it. Oh, make the call. Do the thing. Now, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of things I am still avoiding actively. But if you want to get to that next level, you're always going to have to knock down those other dominoes. It gets to a point where it's, I can't avoid this any longer. This has to get done. And don't get it twisted. Every human I've ever met avoids things. I've had some multi-millionaire coaches, mentors. I've had clients that are multi-millionaires. I'm telling you, they're some of the most peak performing people you've ever met. But in certain areas, they still avoid things.
I stole Alan's AirPods by accident when I went to his house, and I was like, I'm not driving back down there. I'm going to mail them to you. We'll just overnight it. It's going to be fine. I didn't go the first day. I didn't go. I was supposed to go to the post office, and I remember thinking, I actually forgot. That's what happened is I was going to take him to the gym with me, and then I was going to go, but the post office doesn't open till 9. My first call's at 10. I'll go tomorrow. There was enough necessity, though, because I knew you wanted them. There was enough necessity. Necessity can override uncertainty if you use it correctly.
Necessity is... I'm going to challenge you on that, which is good. This is good.
Yeah.
Necessity is actually creating uncertainty. Okay, let me rephrase. The $100 habit. Can you explain the $100 habit in 1 minute?
Of course I can. I'm a professional speaker. How dare you? I was jeffing at the gym, and I said, how can I allow and force myself to be more consistent? So I went to my wonderful, beautiful wife, Taryn. I gave her this $100 bill. I said, I need a favor from you. She said, anything. I said, if I don't go to the gym 7 days in a row, I need you to rip this $100 bill up in front of me. She said, absolutely not. I said, I promise. It's already done in my mind. I won't fail. I went to the gym 7 days in a row. I got my $100 bill back, and then it worked so well that I stopped doing it. How's that?
Nice job. Nice job. Necessity is creating uncertainty in the other direction. Okay. Kev, you were uncertain about getting to the gym, going to the gym, staying consistent in the gym, whatever. Okay? You became certain she's going to rip up a $100 bill, which made you uncertain about your financial future and, more importantly, uncertain about your relationship, because if she had to rip up a $100 bill, she's going to be very upset with you.
Definitely.
So it creates necessity as uncertainty in the other direction. Let me give you an example. Okay?
Yeah.
Two people want to run every day for their good health. I've done this before. One of them signs up for a marathon in 3 months, invites their friends and family, please come, take the day off, please be there to support me. They all do. It's on the calendar, it's a done deal. The other person doesn't tell anyone. Who's going to run every day? The one who has a lot on the line. The person with a lot on the line doesn't want to face the uncertainty of, are they going to be mad at me? Am I going to be embarrassed? Am I going to have, like, my friendships, am I going to break promises to them? Necessity is uncertainty in the other direction, kind of. So the fear of letting your friends and family down is bigger than the fear of actually running every day. So necessity is getting leverage on yourself.
What if it's certainty that it's the right thing to do to get the result? Like, remember when we did the 10 pounds in 10 weeks? I wasn't uncertain of whether or not I could do it. I knew I could do it.
But the uncertainty around you and I on the ego level of missing an episode, I'm telling you, I'm not explaining this well, but you and I, imagine you miss an episode.
I wouldn't let it happen.
I know, but why? Because the pain of that would be so
But it's
great.
not uncertainty, it's pain. There's no uncertainty. I know exactly how I would feel. How do you think I
But it
motivated
is
myself to
uncertainty
do
on
it?
the ego level because you identify as someone who never misses. So if you were to miss, that would create massive uncertainty between you and your identity.
But I wouldn't let it happen.
I know.
Isn't that the necessity? Didn't I use the right necessity?
Yes.
I can't get with you on this one.
Okay. One more try. And then we go, because we got to go. All right.
There's a apple.
Remember how I said you got to get around people that make you uncomfortable on the ego level?
Mm-hmm.
That's creating uncertainty in you, which gets you to take actions that you never would have done. Uncertainty isn't just uncertainty externally, it's also uncertainty in self. You and I didn't want to face the uncertainty in self of the mini little midlife crisis we would have had we missed an episode. So instead, we faced all the uncertainty of making sure we weigh ourselves every day and do a marathon on a whim and all these other things that we ended up doing in order to hit weight. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't explain it well. It's deep.
Do.
That's a whole other episode in and of itself.
Windy AF right now. I'm going to disagree with you. Heavy.
That's fair.
And you'll never get me on your side. That's all.
My God.
No, I'm just kidding. For me, I think I was just thinking about it differently. I was thinking of it from the perspective of necessity allows you to, okay, maybe this. Necessity allows you to walk through uncertainty because there's uncertainty on the other side too.
Fire.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I had some story. It was going to change the world, possibly.
Next level nugget.
And you went on this tirade. This tyrant? What is it?
Tirade.
Tirade. Thank you. Tyrant is a bad leader. And now I've forgotten it.
What's the next level nugget?
I'm just kidding. I didn't forget it. My next level nugget is this. Quick story, 1 minute. I used to live with my buddy Matt. Part of living with Matt is we were renovating his home. And I've told this story before, but I think it's powerful and it's perfect for this. So we would paint and we would do different things, right? We're going to do a new dishwasher, new stove, new oven, all this stuff. Cool. We're going to paint, we're going to tile, all this. Eventually, we get to the point where everything was pretty much done, and we had to put a new light on the front of the house. So this is the light that lights your way when you're walking up the front steps of the home. And we were going to do it one weekend, and then we played Call of Duty, and we didn't do it. And then we were going to do it the next weekend, and we played Call of Duty, and it was like, I don't know, it's raining outside. There is a porch. It's covered. The rain doesn't matter. Next weekend, it's like, we're going to have to rewire this whole thing. We're going to have to turn the power off to the house. This is going to be a pain in the butt. Eventually, we get to the point where we said, hey, let's just do this. And it took us 10 minutes. It's the easiest thing in the world. 1 wire, 2 wire, wire cap, off to the races. Done. We spent more time thinking about how much of a pain in the butt that it would be than it actually took us to do it. That is my story. And that's my next level nugget. What's your next level nugget, son? I'm in a really good mood. I'm not, if I seem sassy to Alan, I'm not sassy. I'm just.
Oh, I love it. You're good. At least from me, but from an outside perspective, you know.
Do you think I'm coming off bad?
No.
Okay.
But I also wouldn't know. So
yeah, that's true. I could say pretty much anything I wanted, and you'd be like,
fair assessment. It's a fair assessment. Yeah, I like feedback, you know, even if it's apparently not true. Yeah. So, my next level nugget.
Yes. The nugget.
Every human you've ever met, I promise you, is avoiding something uncomfortable, either within themselves or in the external world. And it usually has to do with somewhere they have low consciousness and low capabilities, aka they're insecure, aka they're uncertain. That's what insecurity is. I'm insecure because I'm uncertain. I'm not sure the floor is going to hold up. Kevin walks into a bar. He doesn't feel valued. He's uncertain. He's shorter than everyone else. Not everyone else, but short.
Well,
whatever. You've talked about it. I'm not trying to berate you back here. It was a dangerous episode.
I was going to say, I'm trying to get even with you. I need to win over the audience now because I said some things.
So every human you've ever met is avoiding discomfort in some area. If someone has great results in a given area, it means that they are more aware or more capable and most likely have faced more discomfort in that area. Think of someone in great shape. They faced more discomfort in workouts, tough workouts. They probably faced more discomfort in dieting. They've probably faced more discomfort in, looking at how much they've messed up in the past, or maybe they've faced more discomfort in stretching. Stretching is uncomfortable, for sure. So that's my next level nugget is you're not alone in this. You just got to try to face that next uncomfortable domino, and the next level is going to happen after you do that.
Special announcement, Next Level Nation. Usually our meetups are the first Thursday of the month. We are going to be traveling to Pittsburgh to give a speech. We're going to be traveling Thursday. We'll be there Friday, Saturday, leaving Sunday. So we will not be doing the meetup on the normal day. It's actually going to be August 10th. This month's meetup, number 20, or 20th month in a row, is your mental health hindering your growth. Very on point with what Alan was saying. My goodness. If you're living in the anxiety zone, it's going to be very hard for you to put your growth first. He's making me laugh. We're going to do a meetup on it. And it's called Is Your Mental Health Hindering Your Growth? It's August 20th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live on Zoom. Totally free. If you want to take part, you can bring questions. You can have your camera on. You can have your microphone on. If you want to be a fly on the wall, you can do that as well. I know we laughed about it, but I know it's a serious one, and it's something that I definitely would have needed at the beginning of this journey. And who knows, right? We all have bouts of mental health stuff going on. So wherever you are in your journey, it will be valuable for you.
Just imagine you wake up tomorrow morning and you go to a serene spot in your home or your apartment, wherever you live, and you open up a little next level dreamliner. Just like a notebook or an agenda or a planner type of thing. Okay, and you are prompted with compelling questions to start your day. And you're going to focus on your top 3 milestones for that quarter, towards your top 3 goals for that year, towards your dreams. The Next Level Dreamliner it was called the Next Level Planner, but we're calling it the Next Level Dreamliner. But think of a planner, agenda, journal, all in one, next levelness. That's coming soon. Let us know if you are interested in that so that we can gauge kind of the amount of people that are interested. We are currently debating whether or not to do quarterly ones or yearly. So that would be a good question. But if you are interested in the Next Level Dreamliner, we are creating a list of people that are interested so that when we do launch this, you are the first to know.
Tomorrow for episode number 1412, an open conversation about money. So when we were coming up with the episodes, I told Alan, I said, I want to do an episode on wealth. I want to do an episode on money. And I said, I don't really have a great story specifically, so let's just hop on and have a conversation. And we'll see where it goes. And the goal will be, maybe we'll talk about some misconceptions and we'll see where the conversation goes. But if you are, obviously you're somebody who uses money. If you don't feel like money is a strong suit, wealth is a strong suit, understanding numbers is a strong suit, tune into that episode because we will talk about that. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we don't have fans, we have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Face that discomfort with courage. Next Level Nation.